Today, I'm at Galactic Guitar Exchange in downtown Baltimore's historic Federal Hill district. And I'm here with Ryan Ellis, guitar player and upright bass player and owner of the city's newish music store. You opened Galactic Guitar Exchange 3 years ago in the county, in the burbs, am I right?
I mean, more or less, if you call it that. So I started out selling them out of the back of my van at the North Point Village flea market in Dundalk, kind of right there in the wake of the pandemic. You know, when, there wasn't a whole lot else, really to go or going on. And so I was looking for something extra to do, and seemed like a fun idea. And you gotta be a little bit crazy, and you just start doing it. And so that's really where it started, about 3 years ago, yeah.
And what led to this new location?
It was just a really, really great opportunity. As far as the building, how nice the building is, the financials of what it costs to be here.
And Fed Hill being Fed Hill?
Yeah, it's a really fun neighborhood. It's cool. It's a cool place. And I always thought, and a lot of my customers that I've seen before have always, told me, and I think the city's underserved, not just by guitars, but kind of by a handful of different stuff, So it was just couldn't say no to this.
Cool. What is the backstory of Ryan Ellis? I ask because opening a music store isn't always the best business decision. Like operating a Burger King franchise or a Chick-fil-A, yeah? There's a lot of passion at play. So can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, no, that's a good point because, as far as I can tell from where I sit, there's not huge money to be made really amongst the tiers of sellers out there in the guitar world, all the way up from your Fenders and your Gibsons to your Guitar Centers to your bigger shops, to your smaller shops. It's not something that you're gonna get super rich on. Doesn't seem that way anyway. But back to your question. So I've done a lot of different jobs. Project management. I was a music major in college. It's just fun. It matches my skill set. So I know how to work on guitars.
You're also a jazz head?
Yeah, I'm a jazz head for sure. No doubt.
And what do you do before the store opens up to you? Plug in?
I try to practice, for at least an hour and a half. Some days more than others, but yeah, I still try to keep up the regimen, best I can.
Fantastic. Long before the e-commerce and 2-day prime deliveries, there was this phenomenon of the local music store in the community, It used to be a thing, a hub where friendships and bands would form, kids walking by and getting inspired by guitars hung on the walls, Local music stores are few and far in between now. So on that thought, what are your thoughts about the local music store being a nucleus of creativity and inspiration?
That's a big question. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid learning how to play, there'd always be the message board right by the door where you'd hang your business card or your paper with flyers with numbers, like looking for bass player, that kind of thing. But, things are changing, but I'm not a doomer on this. It's just changing. It's always changed. And so the way I look at it, we've got a number of very large players now, but I think there's still room for smaller mom and pops, but you gotta be smart about it. It's kind of like being a mouse amongst elephants. You have to fit between their feet, but I think that's still gonna go on, and it's gonna change, but I think it's gonna be here for a long, long time.
Cool. And so tell us your earliest memory of walking by a guitar store in your local community. What was that feeling like? Do you want to replicate that for young kids in Fed Hill?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's just one of the things that's one of the funnest parts is when young kids are really excited about it. And I bet you a lot of other shop owners probably get this same kind of experience where there usually is a handful of neighborhood kids that are in here all the time. And it's really fun, and if you got time, you kind of show them some stuff and you get to hear what they're working on, and and so yeah, it is kind of magical. It was like that for me too, for sure.
Yeah, it's like that kid coming in and checking out a PRS McCarty and saying like, someday I'm gonna buy this.
Oh yeah.
That feeling.
Oh yeah, that was definitely me too. That would have been in Hagerstown, Maryland, and I still remember. And then you'd hear like the one of the like the long time like employees there in the back, and they're just like ripping, you know. And you're like, dang, you know, like I'll be great if I could do that one day, you know, that kind of thing, for sure. Yeah.
Sweet. What do you wish to accomplish here at Galactic Guitar Exchange? What's the end game here?
Oh man, it's still so early and my shop is so weird. Well, it's not that weird, but it's a little weird because it's all used. I have nothing new here. So, you know, we're just trying to do it, you know, year by year, and so far so good.
And you also do setups and repairs here?
Setups and repairs,
Yeah,
for
can
sure.
you tell us more about that? Like what do you do? Like refretting?
So I do I do most of the basic stuff, but for things like total refrets, neck resets, things like that, there's some other people that I would refer to them for that. Okay. I can do those, but I don't do those all the time like some other folks do and specialize in. So like all your basic stuff, all your electronics, I'll certainly dress frets and correct fret issues, but you know, with the buying, the selling, and the trading, and the exchange part, and the customer part at the same time. So this is the bench. So I'm here working on guitars until people come in and ask questions, and then I go to do that, and then we come right back to the bench and keep working. So it's a one-man show at this point. So I mean, maybe long term, yeah, to get you know, a couple helpers, you know, some employees. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting kind of close to it. And
I see you're gonna open a location upstairs, top floor as
well.
well.
Yeah, we're just expanding.
Okay.
So like, you know, so hopefully, yeah. So middle term goals. Yeah, I want to fill all these floors, which is tough to do because you know, you just saw this morning. Like I think 3 guitars walked out the door. So if you're gonna grow, I need to buy at least 4. You know. So you have to be buying at a greater rate than you're selling if you're going to have more inventory. So yeah, it's a lot of work.
Wonderful. And this is my best part of my show here is I'm a gearhead. We're all crazy about gear. That's how we got into this into this subculture. So is there any cool gear today that you want to put the spotlight on?
Sure. So for a story like mine, it's weird, not necessarily high end, but weird kind of gear. So I don't know if anybody recognizes this. This is a Greco Shrike from the late 60s, early 70s. It's full hollow, so it almost has like a 335, or no, I'm sorry, 330 or an Epiphone Casino kind of vibe. You know, so it's got like good volume. And the other weird thing, so other than its looks with like the double Florentine here, the pickups are actually single coils that you can split this way. So you can have this side of the V on and that side of the V off. That's what these little guys up here are doing. So just kind of a really neat made in Japan lawsuit era brand. This isn't, so of those, you know, so Greco famously, you know, one of those companies copying other companies' stuff. You know, they had some pretty kind of unique, weird stuff themselves, like this guy.
That Bixby looking thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, stuff
so
like
this.
this.
One volume? No, that's all.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Wonderful. And this
Crazy.
is for sale. How did you acquire this?
Oh, my good buddy Chuck brought this.
Okay.
Yeah, my good buddy Chuck brought this.
Is there a story? How old is it?
I can't. I'm not sure the exact year.
4 decades at least, you think?
It's from like the early 70s, late 60s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know, like the fretwork is still like, you know, like really good.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And
fun.
Is there any other deals that you're running at the store for the fall? In the fall, is there anything?
I mean, just some basic stuff. So because it's all used, what I really want to have happen is stuff coming in and stuff going out, right? So I want the prices to be good. When you walk in here, you go, man, that's a great deal on that. I feel comfortable buying that.
So it's literally a guitar exchange.
It's a guitar exchange,
Right.
straight up, and so in order to make that happen, the people that sell things, they need to feel when they walk out, I got a good price for that thing that I sold or that I traded.
Wow.
So in the end, what that means is the margin for the store is smaller, right? So like I see like Guitar Center run or anywhere. I don't want to pick on them. Let's say a 20% off. I don't have 20% to give. I already gave that to keep the friction low. But you buy anything in here that doesn't already come with a case, I will sell you a bag at cost. I think it might be even slightly under cost at $10 if you buy it here.
I've never heard of anybody give away a gig bag at $10.
Literally, it's just you pay my cost. You had because you bought one. I don't want it to go naked. And the same with strings. So if you grab strings, you buy 2 packs, get the third half off.
Wonderful.
So I do what I can.
Wonderful. Famous last words for our viewers and the local peeps of Fed Hill.
Thanks for having me. It's been 4 weeks. I'm still not listed on Google. Not my fault. They rejected, or my transfer of address was rejected, which is crazy because I'm here. So I'm hard to find. But people are finding me anyway, and it's awesome. And so I just want to say thanks to everybody from Joppatown. When I was Joppatown, everybody that was at the North Point Village Flea Market, awesome. And all my gratitude and appreciation to everybody that's been here.
Sweet. And you're on email and socials?
Yep, Instagram at Galactic Guitar Exchange. Got the website. Address is correct on there. So galacticguitarexchange.com. Thanks.